This episode of Philly Fame TV is sponsored by Top Dog Law. Now y'all already know who to call for any accidents or injury cases. If you want that top dollar, you better get at Top Dog. You can hit him up on Instagram at Top Dog Law or visit his website www.topdoglaw.com. Philly Fame.
So 2007, I mean, you had fell for the situation that you was away for 15 years, like we touched on earlier. So go ahead and give people that story, however you want to give it to them.
So what I was ready to say, like, what happened was this, man. Be always real, I believe it was on some Tupac shit at that time. Like, I mean, you ever heard the story like Tupac did juice and it made him go crazy? I think I started to really unravel. Like, you know what I'm saying? I started to go, my brother got killed, you know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, I had noticed, like, I never did this shit for no clout. I never did it for, like, no views or nothing. But I did recognize, like, god damn, like, this shit is working for me. So I think this shit started going to my head so much, it was like, you know what I mean? You know what? I'ma rap and destroy. I'ma rap about and I'ma fucking literally destroy every rapper in this fucking city. Every rapper in this city, I'm gonna fucking destroy. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're not on my team, fuck you. If I don't fuck with you, like, besides, like I said, off camera, if I fuck with real niggas in the streets, if I didn't fuck with you, I was coming at you. And it started to get real embedded in my head, like, I'm putting in work on niggas. Off camera, on camera, I don't give a fuck. And what happened was, like, the 2007 situation, I had got a call, and the call was some dude talking about my cousin fucked this girl or some shit. So I'm like, what, nigga? So first thing I say, I hang up on him, and the nigga say some shit like, we know where you live at. I'm like, yeah. And he said my address. He actually said my address. So I tell the nigga, when I see you, it's on site. I'm gonna kill you as soon as I see you. And that was bottom line. That night, I went out looking for him, didn't find him. And then what happened was, these dudes in this industry don't know how to separate the camera shit from the real shit. So when they captured the D. Jones situation on camera, and they went and got views from it, not knowing I'm on some real street shit even with that, because like I said in the beginning, like, I'm worried about niggas retaliating and coming to my mom's spot. So I'm on some real shit. Niggas can really die and get harmed from this shit. These niggas is trying to, like, get money from DVDs. And what happened was, they was trying to recapture that. And there was a whole setup. This whole thing with them calling me, talking about, I fucked that girl and I know where you live at. These niggas was trying to get views for DVDs. I didn't know this. I'm burnt the fuck out at this time.
So you saying somebody was setting you up and try to get you on camera to catch you on some shit to make a video go viral?
Exactly.
Wow.
It was a whole setup. And this is what happened even today. Like, people don't understand, like, not even just rappers, like, a lot of people trying to get all this shit on camera. The cameras is really fucking us up. Like, we going to jail for this shit. We losing our family, we losing our lives. And we're not even just going to jail, we dying from this shit. Like, all this footage on camera with the real shit and the street shit. And I'm always going to be real. I don't give a fuck. Like, if I'm over here right now, I'm handling a situation, the camera, I'm going to keep handling my situation. But it really fucking us up for the people that's trying to capture this shit and benefit off of it and not knowing how it's fucking up our lives. And that's what this whole shit was about. You know what I mean? They try to really, the cameraman, I'm not going to say who it is, but, you know what I mean? The cameraman tried to set this whole situation up. And it went bad. He wasn't knowing that it was gonna get that deep. He should have known, because he know he dealing with me. And that was this crazy that I discussed. Like, how wouldn't you know when you dealing with me? You know what I mean? You know what comes with that. You dealing with certain people, you knows what comes with that. You know what niggas in the rap game, this real, you know which ones it's not. You know what I'm saying? Or you should before you get into a situation like that. So, like I said, I got a call to say, I'm not gonna say I got the call from, but I got a call to say, yeah, them niggas that say they know where you live at, you know what I mean, they around the corner. I'm thinking this is a street, I'm one up on something. Not that niggas trying to get no views off this shit. So when we went around there, handle my business and everything like that, I wasn't thinking like, oh, the camera's out there, that I just plainly ain't give a fuck. I came up there, they in the middle of talking some shit. Oh, fuck that nigga Buckz, we on his block. Like, that's really disrespectful too. They on my block talking about fuck Buckz, How you think that was gonna go? I'm not no fucking DVD nigga. And when I say that, like, I'm one of them niggas that's gonna pull up and start rapping and talking to you and battle you, and you on my block talking about fuck Buckz. That wasn't gonna happen. So unfortunately, in that situation, you know how it is back then, especially with DVDs, there's a million niggas around and they listening to this dude talk all this shit. So that's why all them people got shot. And unfortunately, the nigga that actually died, because we definitely hit the targets, but the nigga that actually died, he wasn't the intended target. So he wound up dying. I had a bunch of attempted murders on other people and shit.
So you end up getting locked up for that, and you get sentenced to life pretty much. So what was that for you? Now you're a known rapper, I mean, in the city. I mean, now you locked up for this situation, you get convicted and sentenced. What's your thought process, with your emotions? What was it like for you? Like, give him that. Like,
so in the beginning, you know what I'm saying, I was running around the county. It was crazy. A couple other rappers was in there too and shit. But I was running around the county at the beginning, and I didn't give a fuck, because it was crazy. Because when I went to county, I got all these record labels calling me and shit out of nowhere. Like, this shit big. Like, I'm in the papers, I'm in magazines and shit like that. But it was like, first of all, I was thinking like, where the fuck was this love when I was out there? Like, how the fuck is like multiple record labels calling now that I'm booked? And I think they was, that's when I really started realizing, like, yo, they really capitalize off us. You know what I mean? Our downfall for real, our detriment, like, cause like I'm in the middle of a fight for my life, you know what I'm saying? And the record label's basically like, if this little motherfucker beat this shit, he wild, he come out of this joint off of murder and shit like that. It's almost like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really like the Cassidy situation, or it's like, it's kind of like the ARAB situation and shit. Like, damn, a real motherfucker just came home off this shit. You know what I'm saying? And they wanted to capitalize off that shit. So I'm getting calls and shit from labels and all that. So I was running around like, fucking, I'm this shit. You know what I'm saying? On some young dumb shit. Like, I was looking at it like, yeah, nigga, like, this was thorough. You know what I mean? Running around the county, getting in this shit. I'm taking losses. I'm winning. I mean, when I say that, I mean, we getting busy in that joint. I mean, we stab outs, whatever like that. And you lose some, you win some, the whole nine. So, yeah, I'm running around the county and I'm wilding until I get to court and I lose that motherfucking case. You know what I mean? When I lose, and I was actually offered 17 after 35 that I denied. That was the lowest they said they would go. But yeah, when I get into court and shit, they using my raps against me. They using my street shit, all the shit that we just was talking about. They actually brought all that shit to court. Like, they brought all that shit to court. They literally said like, yo, he's not just a rapper, he lives out everything he rap. That's on my transcripts.
You talking about 2007?
2007, they said. They went over all my shit and said,
this was early in the game.
Listen, they didn't talk about, listen, I got it on the transcripts. Y'all know how y'all do. Y'all need receipts because niggas be fraud. But they talking about Joey Jihad in court, the whole nine. I don't even know how the fuck. I'm like, yo, this shit is wild. Like, this shit really backfired on me. Like, they literally talk about. So
this before Instagram, TikTok, all that shit. Like, YouTube was around, but it wasn't as big as it is, I mean, now. So before all of that, they was able to get this information about the little issue with Joey Jihad.
They had the whole issue. They going over fucking words that said, situations, the whole fucking nine. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm asking my lawyer, how the fuck they know about Joey? He came to me, whispered in my ears, who was Joey Jihad? I'm like, what? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then next, the DA, he talking about Joey. That's the main nigga he brought up. I don't know why, but he brought up a couple of rappers. The main nigga he brought up in trial though was Joey Jihad, and then try to use situations that I've been through, and not just rap, street shit too, like other shit that wasn't, I mean, just rap. They try to say like, yo, the shit that he rap about and everything that he do, and they played music, this shit really happened. Like, I did a song called I Smell Murder. I don't know if y'all probably want to play this during this interview, but I did a song called I Smell Murder. And I rapped about me committing the murder, everything that happened, and then going to jail for the murder when the appeal came home. And that actually happened. But I did that shit while I was on the run for the murder. So they actually brought all that shit up. Like, yo, look at this shit. He did this shit. So yeah, that's when it hit me, like, in trial, like, damn. from that day on, all I did was want to get back. The rap shit went out the window. I didn't write no more bars, none of that shit. I did have to go to my jail, ask Poop Papers, he was up there. I did have to go to my jail and crush everybody in there though, just to let them know what's up. I crushed everybody in there. I did stay in contact with some of my niggas, especially Tech Nine, because he was into the battle shit at that time, just getting into it, and I was, you know, sending him shit or whatever like that on, just, you know what I mean, giving him, pushing him or whatever like that. But yeah, I was up there crushing niggas and everything like that, and then I just completely stopped and was like, there's no need to be a famous rapper in the jail. Like, you know what I mean, you walk through here, you famous in the jail, and it's like, but what is good to grow old in jail and be some famous rapper in jail, bro? Like, you gotta do everything you gotta do to get out. Like, so I had to use my brain to say, fuck that shit, I'm in this library. And I was in the library like day in and day out, studying and trying to get myself back to where I'm at right now. And it was hell in that joint. I don't give a fuck what none of you dudes say. Y'all trying to make prison look crazy, everything like that. That shit was hell. When you in there and you saying like you ain't never coming home, especially when you somebody, when you walk past, it don't make you feel good when somebody say, oh, you Buckz. And it was like, yeah, I'm Buckz, but what you accomplished? You know what I'm saying? You ain't here and you eating a fucking a chi-chi. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't accomplished shit. You're around men for the rest of your fucking life. Ain't nothing thorough about it. Nothing thorough. I can guarantee you, shout out to AR Ab and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the other niggas I really respect, because he was one of the first niggas that I seen doing drill rap besides myself. You know what I'm saying? But I can guarantee you he in there like, this ain't what it is. If you do an interview with him, he'll tell you the same shit like, this ain't what it is. It's part of the process. When you in this game, you gotta understand like this what comes with that shit. So you can't be in there bitching. But this ain't nothing that I would tell somebody to glorify, nothing like that. Prison ain't shit for nobody, it ain't for no black man, especially in America.
Facts. So now let's get a little bit into how did you get out here?
So like I said, like I stayed in that library and I'm fighting the pill at the pill. But what happened was, it was all in the papers and y'all can go look it up, but this judge called Rainey Carver Huge, she was real slick with the words, and what she did was she took all high profile cases. So if you had a high profile case, you was in her courtroom, and she was good at getting people convicted, even though it's by a jury. She was good at persuading the jury into giving a guilty verdict, and finally it caught up to her. So somebody I got cool with a lawyer called Daniel Silverman, because two of my homies had him, and I was so good at law work that I would actually do their law work and I would send it to Daniel Silverman. When I send it to Daniel Silverman, he'd write back like, damn, good work, but he would think it was them, but it was really me, you know what I mean, like jailhouse lawyer and everything like that. So what happened was, when my case came up, I needed a lawyer, another lawyer. This is like my third, fourth lawyer, something like that. I needed a lawyer. I'm like, man, I'm about to try Daniel Silverman. So I wrote him like, yo, this was me writing you all them times and everything like that. He was like, what? I love your work. So he was like, you know, I got a case that's similar to yours right now. He said, hire me. I said, how much? He said, $25,000. I said, man, listen, I'm 80,000 in. I'm already 80,000 in, and I don't really have that 25,000. So he like, listen, I like your work so much, I give you 50. I do it for 15. I'm like, bro, I don't have 15 either. So he's like, all right. He couldn't do nothing. Then like 2 weeks later, he was like, listen, man, I really like you. When you come home, I work with you and everything. Like, I got you for $7,500. So we gave him the $7,500, and he took the case. So he beat the one that was before mine. It was a jury instruction that she gave, where she swayed the jury into saying, find him guilty. She was saying, basically, she told the jury, she said, if your child was in the hospital and they needed surgery, basically she said, would you go forward with the surgery or would you let him die? And that's not really an option. They said, basically, if your child's in the hospital, the surgery saves your child, or you don't do the surgery and your child die, what would you do? So everybody in the courtroom said, I'm gonna do the surgery. She said, that's how you apply reasonable doubt to this case. So
wow.
That's saying, I'm only telling you go one way. Go the way of the surgery. And the surgery way was, find him guilty. And she did that to over 50 cases. and Krasner had no choice. And what's crazy is when you look at the newspaper, you look at I think it wasn't a lot of newspapers, but you look at the Philadelphia Inquirer, it's 50 cases. Krasner said all of us was done, it was injustice to all of us, and he gonna make sure everybody overturn their case. He said except for 2 people. He said, I'm adamantly pursuing Robert McDowell and Tariq Jackson, better known as Buckz. He said them 2, he ain't letting out. Out of 50 people, he the only 2 that he said in that newspaper he wanted was us. And that's because of the rap music. And Robert McDowell, he had a racial case where he killed a black man because he was dating his white sister. So he compared me to that and said, these are the 2 big cases that I don't want them out. But he had no choice because reasonable doubt is something that even Krasner can't stop. If you ain't found nobody guilty behind a reasonable doubt, you have to overturn their case. So he couldn't do nothing about it. And I went to the county. That's why I seen Hollow Man. Shout out to Hollow Man.
Yeah, shout out to bro.
I went to the county. They offered me a 13 to 26 year plea deal. Since I already had 15 years in, I got out on that, and I still got 11 years parole.
So you just came home a few months ago.
Ain't no question.
So you fresh home.
So, like, I did see a lot of interviews, or a few of them, where people talking about, you know, past beefs and, you know, everything cool now and things of that nature. And I'm definitely gonna speak on that because, like I said, like I will clarify a few people, like Gilly, definitely no beef there, nothing like that. Like I said, Reed Dawes, there's no beef there. But it's certain situation where it's like, to be totally honest, when people saying there's no beef there, it's like, how deep was the beef? You know what I'm saying? Where did that go at? Like, some of my beefs was like real shit. People got harmed from this shit, and certain shit, it's not ever gonna come back. It's like that, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like today, right, coming out of prison after doing 15 years, I ain't got no intentions on harming no other black man again. I feel as though like we should, you know what I mean, overcome that and you know, grow and become, you know, true black men and support each other, especially in Philly. You know what I'm saying? I think that's part of our downfall, whereas though, if you look at the DVD era, which I believe is one of the best eras ever, you only got one person that accomplished something like the DVD era, and that's Meek Mills. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Meek Mills, he did his thing and everything like that. But Meek Mills is the only person out that era that accomplished something from that era, that got to as big as he is. So I look at it like, yeah, I believe that we all should, you know what I mean, support each other, and but I do believe that as far as myself, it depends on, you know what I mean, how far the beef is. I don't see nobody on the kumbaya shit if my man got killed in some situation like that, or if my hood beefing with your hood. My hood is on the news. Y'all seen Krasner. You seen him talk about us like we warring with a lot of different neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I'm not personally warring with them. I just step back on the scene, and it's basically some of my youngins. But when blood is shed, it's shed. Some of my family and my friends' blood was shed in some of these wars. So it's no fucking way I'm gonna be on camera kumbayaing with none of these niggas. And some of you rappers know what I'm talking about. I seen some of y'all talking some monkey shit on these cameras and shit. So yeah, we not gonna be cool at all. So when I see certain niggas, it's not no shaking no hands and ain't none of that shit. They be lucky to breathe after that. You know what I'm saying? To be just totally honest. Like, that's why it separates some of these rappers in the street life, because it's like, how can you say a beef is squash when that nigga, he killed your homie 5 years from now? It's none of that. It's none of that. Like, seriously, it's like, I probably can go as far as like, even though me and Joey, we run with everything like that, I don't know how that man felt after that night. I never seen him again. He had 30 motherfuckers jumping. You think if I see Joey Jihad, I feel like he want to shake my hand and be cool. I don't know what's up with that man. But as far as me and my mindset, it's over. You know what I'm saying? But I'm on point. I'm not going for none of that shit. Like, if somebody ever did anything to me and they got one up on me and I see him, it ain't never the fuck over. So to be totally honest, like I said, shout out to Joey Jihad. Like I said, he had to do that shit that he did, you know what I mean, while I was in prison and everything like that. It indicated that it was over. And I'm not really technically talking about him. The street niggas that I'm talking about, I'm not mentioning them niggas. They know it's always there. It's always there. It's gonna always be always there, and that's the bottom line. I'm not saying y'all niggas now. I learned my lesson. Y'all names ain't going around. Anybody I said name today on this camera, it ain't really no street beef with me at all. But the niggas that I didn't say, that shit gonna always be there. I learned my lesson saying y'all names on cameras now. They gonna use it in the courtroom. But yeah, ain't no fucking squashing with me. And I wish we could as a people. We could squash it. If it was personally with me, I'll say yeah, let's come together as people and let this shit go. I wouldn't chill with you. You down some of my niggas, I down some of your niggas, whatever how that shit went. I would never chill with you. But we can move on and live our lives out. You know what I'm saying? And don't have to live like I can't sleep at night unless you dead. You know what I'm saying? You go live your life, I go live my life. We walk different ways. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we grow as people. You know what I'm saying? Because we got people behind us that don't know. And I know you was gonna get to the young guy, Lil Buckz.
Yeah.
And we got somebody, and it was unfortunate, it was crazy, his name Lil Buckz. I heard about this young guy when I was in the county. I was in the county with this other young guy named F.A.M E. This is one of his homies and everything like that. And they was locked up, booked together on a case. And Lil Buckz, I think, was in the juvenile, while F.A.M E was on the F on State Road. And I talked to F.A.M E, you know what I'm saying? And to this day, yeah, I mean, F.A.M E doing good now. He said he got a job, he leaving the streets, he understand. He heard my story that I gave him, and how my story ain't really get me nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It didn't get me nowhere. So F.A.M E out there trying to do good, and he trying to live right. And he told me he wanted me to talk to Lil Buckz. He wanted me to go holler at him. And I started hearing about how Lil Buckz is wild, just like I was. And then what's crazy is when I started doing my math on him, like I said, I do my math on everybody. That's why I ain't pop out from the beginning. Trust me. I did my math on everybody in this city. And what's crazy is Lil Buckz actually is going through with some of the niggas I know. There's some real deal niggas, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn, like, youngin' is far out there, and he don't know what the future hold if he don't get a hold of this shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at this point right now, he might be thinking how I was thinking. Young boy, like, what the fuck is over here talking about? I don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck probably about dying. He probably don't give a fuck about prison. Until 15 years later, you sitting here doing, you know what I mean, an interview like me, but feeling like the whole time you was away in prison, you could have been big, you could have accomplished something. You in prison looking at somebody like Meek Mill's in the magazine and saying like, damn, that could have been me. You know what I'm saying? You could have been on a different level. Because you in this rap game to accomplish something. You can't forget that. You're not in this joint to start beef and get killed to go to prison. You're in this rap game to be successful, to be one of the best rappers out, to get an album out, to take care of your family. And that's the focus that you gotta have. So, you know what I mean? I wish, if this the only way I can reach out, I was gonna, you know what I mean, get with Lil Buckz personally, but to be on some real street shit, whenever you align yourself with certain people, you gotta take on whatever comes with that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know him to sit there and get cool with him and then go take on his ops and his beef. So this the only way, the channel I can reach out to him and just tell him like, yeah, man, you got it right now. You got the people behind you as far as your music. And if you focus on that, you know what I'm saying, you be able to get rich, take care of your family, and get yourself out of here, because that's what the fuck this shit is about, for real, for real. When we was doing rap, all of us, all the DVD guys, we was doing this so we can get the fuck out of here, so we take care of our family. You know what I'm saying? And that need to be your focus.
No, that's real. That's real. Alright, I want to jump back a little bit, and then we gonna jump forward. I got a couple more questions for you. I know we gave him a nice little, amount of content for this story, so I got a couple more before we get up out of here. So one joint is, because you did so much time and initially you was in there forever, like you thought you was going to be in there forever, you was never come home, even though you was fighting to get out, you was sentenced to never come home.
Right.
And then, you go through the process with the new lawyer, whatever, and then you get the news that, Krasner got, even though he ain't want to let you out, he got to let you out.
Ain't no question.
So now, 15 years later, you come home. After all of that time, all this shit changed. Explain the transition coming home after all that time to the world right now.
So like I said, and see, it's another thing, I've been home a couple months, and reason why I couldn't pop out, most of the reason why I couldn't pop out is because I had so much beef with so many enemies. I didn't know which way, my enemies was gonna come. So I had to do my math. I can't let nobody know that I'm home You know what I'm saying? I'm 20 steps ahead of them right now, you know what I'm saying? But when I came home, the world was fucking so different. And it was like, alright, first of all, this technology shit is crazy. I didn't even know how to use it. I still really don't know how to use an iPhone. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to even send a cash app. You know what I'm saying? But it was totally different. The music was totally different. They got a different way of rapping now, you know what I mean? They're doing more singing and stuff like that with it, and they different, they versatile. The battle scene they got right now, a bunch of battle leagues and all that. So I'm not gonna say it was extremely hard to you know what I mean, transition into this new world, but after 15 years it's really different. And when I say different, it's like you come home and you're expecting, like, all right, you jump back into the scene and you think it's going to be the same way, and when you find out, like, nah, it's different. Even when you approach a chick today, like, it's like crazy. I go to a chick and I asked her for a phone number and she tell me I'll take her Instagram. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, they don't give out their phone number no more. It's like, take the Instagram. So it's like learning how to navigate in this world. For me right now, I'm just taking it, you know, day by day. Cause once I figure it out, it's over. I'm gonna remind them who I used to be. I'm gonna set the rap game on fire for a second. And like I was just talking, I hope and I pray that all y'all come back out. Show them how we used to do it, and let's do it this new way. Like, we not even gonna hit them with the old DVD shit, but we gonna hit them with the old niggas. I hope all y'all come out. I heard Reed come back out, Joey Jihad, Cheek Raw, all y'all, everybody come back out. Lil Man, let's all come back out and show them. I don't know if Monster, show him Brown still here, Creek Forge, Hollow Man. I seen some new shit on Hollow. He still got them bars. Everybody, let's just come back out. I mean, one more time, give it one more run, and I'm gonna burn y'all niggas again. But yeah, man, I want to thank you for this interview.
Oh, we ain't done, bro. I got a couple more for you.
All right, we
I got
ain't done
more.
yet.
We got just we almost done though. We at the end though. Because I definitely got a nice amount out, so I just got like two more. Because it's one thing you touched on earlier that I want you to touch on and really like acknowledge. Because you said how you and AR was like some of the early drill rappers in Philly.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to expand upon that, because at the time it wasn't called drill.
Yeah.
Y'all was just doing what y'all was doing. But now, fast forward today, the way they rap and how they call that drill, if you listen to how y'all was rapping and how y'all was talking, you could technically say that was early drill.
I mean, what they doing now and I've been doing, rapped and drill, I've been drawn. But that's, like I said, like, AR right? I put it like this. I used to listen to AR when he was going at his own brother. I know Leak going sign is. I don't know Leak. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, they talked about. I think Leak talked about this before. They had a competition because they was in two different groups and they was battling back and forth.
They was in New Era, aka like Wild Style, something like that. But I know Leak group was like New Era, and they was always OBH. This round, my man Wild Dot. This how I'm cool. Wild Dot, Smooth, and all them niggas. They was they was OBH and everything like that. And I'm listening to the actual tapes, nigga. I'm talking about tapes where from OBH way back, and that's how long ago I used to listen to OBH. When I was, like I told you, I was young and messing with Long and everything. So that's how long ago I was listening to OBH and shit, going down $15 gain and everything like that. And that nigga fucking Leak Moss and ARA was so fucking real. They coming at each other and they real brothers. I'm like, this shit, wow. So when I was introduced to Arab, first time I ever seen him, he came down ways beating somebody the fuck up around my way. That's how I met the nigga. Like, you know what I mean? He beat a nigga up for stealing some work around my way and shit. So I used to watch him off camera, and he was real. I'm not gonna go as far as nothing.
So was he popping as a rapper at this time? Like, did you?
No, nobody knew.
So this before he was on some
nobody knew who Arab was. Nobody knew who Arab was. I knew who he was. He was putting out tapes and everything like that. The boy Wild Dot was really probably more known at this time than him. Yeah, nobody probably know who Wild Dot is right now, but Wild Dot, you know what I'm saying, was that boy. And I'm talking about literally these niggas is making tapes, and they shit was hot. You know what I'm saying? New Era shit was hot. Leaking them shit was hot. I used to always think Leak was the best out of them and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, these niggas was hot as shit, you know what I'm saying? But they was real as shit, too. I can't go into too much shit, but I'm just polite. They was real as shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the first niggas that I seen. And that's the shit that I like. That's the shit that turned me on. Like, You know what I mean? I wasn't rapping at the time, but I'm like, yeah, like, I'll fuck with them because them niggas is like some real motherfuckers and shit. So when I got into the rap scene and shit like that, like, that's what type time I was on. You know what I'm saying? I always looked at it like one of the original niggas that I know was them, not just Arab, but Arab and his team. Most of the people on this team was like, they was on that. Arab just, you know, the known nigga of the team, and now Leak is pretty known too. These niggas is known niggas, but these niggas been on that type time, and so are some of my niggas is not known like me. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, like I would literally go do something to somebody, come back and write about the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And this is in fucking 2003, 2002, 2004, shit like that. Like, I would go out, I don't give a fuck what it was. I don't give a fuck if I stole a car, went in there and slapped your fucking mom. I would go in there and I would rap about that shit. Come back out, tell you the whole story, how that shit went down. You know what I'm saying? And now today, like, it's a thing to do. Back then, people didn't get it. People didn't understand it. It was like, I remember Chief Raw was saying like, I was crazy and shit like that. Like, he was telling niggas like he really didn't want to be around me, not around me, but like being connected to me and next to me is wild shit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm basically controllable, and he was more like, he had his brain with his music thing. He was actually making moves. He was connected to niggas way back when. Before niggas started messing with celebrities niggas and all that, he was down fucking with Ludacris and all types of niggas, Dr. Dre and all of that. He was making his moves, fucking with niggas. And I was a wild nigga. And he ain't really want that next to him. But right now, today, that's what you want next to you. Like, that's the thing to get niggas on now. Like, how you say, like we was talking about earlier to my King Von and all them niggas like that. These drill rappers is the niggas is like, they the ones that's popping. So like what we was doing before, it wasn't time. I was way before my time. But now it's that time, and it's like, for real, if I do jump into it, it's gonna be more respected, like how Arab shit is respected, because it's like they know it's real. This ain't nothing where it's though, like you gotta figure out, like, it's a fad now, it's a culture, like everybody doing drill rap, so you can't tell, like, is this nigga doing drill rap? Like, I met a nigga and I almost went at him recently about that shit, like, cold square ass nigga putting out drill rap, and I'm like, nigga, you about to get killed about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing this shit is real. So you can't really tell who the real niggas and who not with this drill shit, because everybody doing it and shit. Niggas getting, some celebrity niggas now, they going to jail and they folding. Y'all know who these niggas is. You know what I mean? They going to jail and they telling on their mans and shit. They see them fucking numbers and see how real this shit is, and they folding like a beast share. So when niggas like me or Ab do it, and a couple other niggas in Philly, they know like, yo, this shit is some real shit. These niggas some real niggas and shit. So they love that shit, because the niggas who love that drill rap love when it's real. It's real. They don't just love the music. They love your story and lifestyle that come behind it and shit. That's why you're not gonna hear too much drill with me right now. Like, you're gonna hear me giving you more wisdom than anything. Like, but if you do hear drill or you do hear some real shit, that shit is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep that shit always funky and shit.
Yeah.
But right now, like, I'm more or less on the wave, like, you know, building the conscious of our people and shit, like waking them up, like, what you know about business. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of bars, but you don't know the music industry is 90% business, 10% rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I'm trying to put them on to something this time around, like, keep them out of the prisons.
And on that note, because you're speaking on the music and you gave a message to Lil Buckz and all that.
No question.
I mean, my final question, man, final little situation, because I had heard, bro, you know, busy, you know what I mean, had let me hear you had an exclusive joint that you laid, you know what I mean, low key that you got in the tuck that's ready to drop,
yeah,
that, you know what I mean, that you going to put out there. You got a little visual plan for it and all that. And I listened to it, and I mean, classic Buckz, classic, you popping your classic shit, but you was talking some shit on there, basically saying your story, how you back home and all that. So you gave me a whole story. So that's something y'all could tune in for to hear more of his story. And one thing you mentioned in there that I want you to end this interview off with was like, you was talking, I ain't gonna quote the exact bar because I don't want to mess it up, but you said something along the lines of, you try basically get a game to the young boys, but they don't want to hear it. They just want to bag and go do their thing. And so, because I usually like had niggas like you come on and leave with like a final message, based though you did all the time that you did. You've been through what you've been through. Like you say, you one of the early drill rappers. You've been through the street shit. You've been to prison, did all your time. Came home, know what I mean, no rat and no telling, know what I mean, stood on all 10, know what I mean. So usually I like to end it off with what's a message to the youth. But if they hear your song and I heard you say like, yeah, I try to give them a message, but they ain't trying to hear that. I mean, so I want you to elaborate on that and end it with that. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on that line, when y'all hear this, and I'm gonna let y'all know now, they ain't even know this. He ain't even know this when doing this interview. I'm gonna drop that joint. I'm gonna drop that video through Philly Fame.
That's how that shit gonna premiere that exclusively early, so y'all gonna hear it here. Like.
So you gonna hear it with him. You gonna hear it here, Philly Fame TV all day long. And the line that he talking about, when I was speaking on, I said, you know what I mean, I was trying to give him the wisdom, but they rather take the bag and go on the mission. You know what I'm saying? It's like how I used to be. An old head before me popping that shit like young and this, young and that, and I used to look at him like, I mean, these bum ass niggas didn't make it nowhere, and they see me popping and doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to hear that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't see the future and see where it was gonna land me. I couldn't see that, you know what I mean, everything I was doing was gonna land me 15 years in prison. All I seen was, look, bro, I'm about to get the bag, I got the bitches, you know what I'm saying? I got the bread, I had all that shit before I went to prison, and everybody can tell you, you know what I'm saying? All them rap niggas can tell you, they was at my crib, you know what I'm saying? So I had all that shit before I went to prison, but I didn't know where it was gonna land me. And I believe I think they even worse today. I think the culture today, the way it's designed, the way this whole thing set up for, you know what I mean, young black people to fail in these inner cities, I believe that it's even worse, whereas though like they took their mind, like, and I said that in part of the rap where I said, you know what I'm saying, their mind going but they body there. They just trying to get us out of here, because the way it's designed is for them not to think, and to only think in a certain way that they want you to think, the way they stirred you to think, you know what I'm saying? So, and we can't see that. We can't see that until, what's sad is, we can't see that until we get into the prisons and we stuck, and then we want to do everything to get back, and we get to get our mind together. It's like when you forced to sit down. When I went in there, I was forced around these, let's say, I'm not F.A.M.E, but the F.A.M.E brothers, the Muslim brothers, the real Christian brothers, the Hebrew Israelite brothers. When I was around all these intellectual brothers, and they start to open your mind and open your eyes to the reality that's really going on, what's really going on around you, and how certain people control our lives, like the government, the mayors, and people that's making these rules that keep us like on these streets selling these drugs, killing each other and stuff like that, and to keep us in these prisons. When we start opening our eyes and we seeing this shit and the dynamic, this thing that's going on, then we get to realize like, okay, you know what, I gotta change my life, and I gotta do better. But if you really a real motherfucker, you want better for the little motherfucker that's behind you, that's gonna go through the same things you went through, that's about to follow the same path as you. And that's why I mentioned Lil Buckz, because I see him and me. I mean, I see me and him. I see him following that same path, and he don't know where he headed. And the reason why he don't know, because he don't understand. And the only way for them to understand is if you speak to these kids' mind. You give them a vision, and you gotta have a real motherfucker there. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad to say, like, the bum ass niggas was talking to me. So I'm glad that I am in a position where people look like, yo, this not no bum ass nigga talking to you. This a real motherfucker that did things. He not out here right now scrambling, trying to, like, you know what I mean, get some clout. I don't need no DVDs. I don't need none of these fucking platforms to be who I am. I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not one of them old ass rappers trying to get back on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I speak, they know, like, all right, you know what I mean? They sit down and they listen, and I'm glad I got that voice. So when I go speak to these little motherfuckers, they gonna be on the tip like, all right, I want to go down this path. If I still want to do my rap thing, I still want to be a real motherfucker. You can still do this. You can still be a real motherfucker. I'm still a real motherfucker. Somebody come up here right now and that crazy. We're gonna try to handle this respectfully, but if you can't, you can't. Like I said, when blood is spilled, the blood is spilled. You know what I'm saying? But you can still be conscious enough and be wise enough to know, like, what's the important factors in life. Like taking care of your kids, being it for your daughter. You know what I'm saying? Being it for your son, raising them. You know what I'm saying? So you can understand, like, what's the important factors in life, and live your life the right way, and not being in these graves and in these cages and everything like that. If I had to go back to jail, it's going to be because of some real shit. Some importance, not going to be because of no silly shit. Somebody not going to say that, you know what I mean, I wore my Jordans fake or some shit, and I'm going to kill him. That type of shit is not happening no more. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do some shit. We gonna do it for some real shit. that we can stand on at the end of the day. Where we can go into prison and sit back and say, you know what I mean, I would do that shit all over again. When I was in prison for my 15 years, for my murder that I did, and my attempted murders, I was sitting in there like I'm the dumbest nigga in the world. I'm sitting here for this stupid ass shit. For some dudes that they wasn't even like that. For a situation that shouldn't even took place. That shit wasn't real to me. Everybody looked at me like, yo, you was in here for a joint. I looked at me like I was the fakest nigga in the world. So, I just hope that, y'all made the music that I give out now, that it just open people's eyes so they can make better decisions.
Now on that note, that's how we gonna end it off. Until next time, now I mean, we definitely gonna give them a part 2 at some point in time. We gonna let you get your feet on the ground. Like you said, you fresh home.
Yeah, ain't no
couple
doubt.
months, know what I mean? So we gonna let you get your feet
Couple
acclimated
months.
to the ground. Now I mean, then we'll update the people on your progress. Like you said, we gonna drop your song and the visual right on this platform. And then whenever you ready to give them, you know, some more stuff, then we gonna be back with the part 2.
Yeah, we gonna flood them.
Yeah, man.
Philly
So
motherfucking F.A.M.E TV.